Hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire 2 news review. Today, just going to be going over the main news, the big stuff, as well as the Q&A. Going to be skipping over the other stuff, but of course, this is all available on Steam as well as the MegaCrit website, so please check it out if you're interested in the rest. Just going to go over the girthy stuff today, and going forward, as makes for a more concise video. So without further ado, let's get started. We have a very exciting release this time. It's October, the month of tricks, treats, and spooky things. For those who missed it, we announced a delay last month. Slay the Spire 2 is coming to early access in March 2026. I know, it's hard to wait. But speaking of spooky things, let us properly introduce you to the NECROBINDER. So this is very exciting, and of course, what a perfect month to reveal the Necromancer guy, right? At long last, the time has come to dive deeper into the first new character we announced for Slay the Spire 2, the NECROBINDER, a sassy lich who relies upon a giant reanimated hand called Asti in battle. It's a funny name, but not technically a pun, so should be safe. I actually don't get it. Osteoporosis, maybe? But sure. So we see here in this GIF that it's playing Bodyguard and a card called Poke, which is dealing 6 damage, but Asti is doing it. I don't know if there's any benefit to Asti doing damage over you doing damage, but basically Slice, that only works if Asti is alive, is actually pretty bad. So that's a bit unexciting. But I like the strike has like a scythe. Very cool, hitting with the scythe. And is that a card called Right Hand Hand? Like Right Hand Man, but your hand is your right hand man, so it's Right Hand Hand. That's pretty funny. There's also a card called No Escape there, that we might see, hopefully. So here we have our first 2 cards. There's Bodyguard, Summon 5, and Asti deals 10 damage. There's also Bone Shards. 1 cost, attack. If Asti is alive, he deals 9 damage to all enemies, and you gain 9 block, but Asti dies. Her kit, so canonically, the Necromancer is a girl. Her kit is themed around necromancy, fittingly enough, and plays with the balance of life and death. Asti can attack enemies independently of the Necrobinder and is unaffected by debuffs afflicting her. Faithful companion that he is, Asti also takes attack damage that would normally affect the Necrobinder, as long as he has HP to give, that is. To increase Asti's HP or revive him from the dead once more, the Necrobinder can summon him. Your strategy may see you building up a high HP Asti for a constant source of protection, or sacrificing him only to bring him back from the dead over and over again. So that's sort of the whole thing with this character, is there's multiple things to do with Asti, but it's all going to be kind of around Asti. You can either juice him up, or you can keep blowing him up over and over and making him again. Seems very cool. Very, very excited to be playing some of these cards. Now let's have a look at Blight Strike and Neurosurge. Blight Strike is a common attack. For 1, deal 8 damage, apply Doom equal to unblocked damage dealt. And Neurosurge. 0 energy power. Instantly gain 3 energy and draw 2 cards, but at the start of each turn, you apply 3 Doom to yourself. So we're going to learn what Doom is here. Another key component of the Necrobinder's kit is Doom, which we have teased in previous Neowsletters. When a creature's Doom meets or exceeds its current HP, it will die. That is exactly what I said, or I thought it would be. And of course, it is the most obvious thing that it could have been, so I'm not giving myself too much credit there, but yes, it is basically like poison, except you have to have the amount exceed the monster's health for it to actually do anything, and then it dies immediately. Pretty cool. It's a debuff that's applied similarly to poison, yep, but it does not deal damage over time or tick down, and it only affects creatures at the end of their turn as opposed to the start. End of their turn. Okay, so the enemy does still do the thing to you, and then it dies. That's probably a balanced decision. We'll see how that works out. Doom does seem pretty strong, and here's the animation of something dying to Doom. Very cool. also got a card called Soul here. 0 energy, draw 2 cards and exhaust. Very similar to the things that Watcher was making. Insights, I believe, from Study and whatnot. And then we have a card that makes a Soul, Grave Warden, 1 energy to gain a block, and to add a Soul into your draw pile. She can also use her Necromantic Magic to draw, draw on the Power of Souls, giving her a source of card draw. So yep, this is going to be a way for her to gain some card draw. This card seems solid, you know, it's like Shrug, sort of. Doesn't immediately draw, but gives you the Soul, which is pretty nice. Sure. I'm sure there's going to be better Soul cards as well. And then we've got 2 more cards here. Sculpting Strike. 1 energy attack to deal 8 damage and to add an ethereal card into your hand. Or add ethereal to a card in your hand. So it seems that there's going to be some benefit to making cards ethereal as the Necrobinder. And then Transfigure is a 1 energy rare skill to add replay to a card in your hand. It costs an extra energy and exhaust Transfigure. That's kind of crazy that you're spending a card and an energy just to make another card replayable and make it cost more, and that's supposed to be good. Wow, that must be really good. Whatever card you're adding replay to must be really good. Transformation is a major part of Necromancy, of course. So the Necrobinder has many cards that allow her to alter other cards, applying different keywords to them and changing how they play. That's all the information on our little lich that we have for you today, but there will be plenty more to uncover still. So, seems very cool. Boy, am I excited to play this Necromancer girl. Looking awesome. Very, very cool. and yeah, I mean, we haven't had a new character in Slay the Spire in quite some time. Of course, this is a sequel, but I can't wait to click some cards, man. My god. No way to know how good it's going to be or anything like this yet, of course, but I have full faith in them to balance the game just like they did before. All right, Q&A with CNA. We didn't answer any questions last month because there was a Q&A section for the delay announcement. Fear not, we're back to answering your exciting questions. As always, send your questions to fanmail@megacrit.com and we'll respond within 90 business days. Yes, it's slow. At least we're honest about it. I did send my own question. I don't know if it's an answerable question, though. They probably don't answer literally every question in this Q&A. But no real expectation, of course. So first question, Posman asks, the community has dubbed quitting and reloading from the start of a floor as save scumming. It seems to be a pretty divisive topic, but being Slay the Spire is a single-player game, there's no real impact aside from being used as a progression loophole. Is this still going to be a feature of STS2? Casey just says, yeah, you can still save scum, play how you want. So, yeah. Obviously, if you're competing in this game, you're not allowed to save scum to, like, avoid something. But, I strongly encourage new players to save scum. You can even do it, like, a bunch of times in a run. If, like, oh, I forgot about Orichalcum there. Let me restart this floor so I can... Like, if you keep forgetting things that you should not be forgetting, you're gonna die, like, a lot more often than you should, so you can just start the floor over and be like, okay, let me just drill this into my head, that I can do this thing, or I should do this thing, and then it helps you, like, not have to restart your entire run, where you have this relic that you only find, like, 1 in 100 runs, and that does something unique. It helps you train your muscle memory, so that when you do want to really blast and play the hardest difficulty, then you know what to do. It's very hard to learn everything when you are only seeing it every once in a while, and then you just like, whoops, I forgot, I'm dead. Time to start a whole new run. So yeah, save scumming is a good way to learn the game. And then, of course, you have to stop if you're trying to, whatever, win streak world record or whatever. But yeah, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Brandon asks, do the characters have canon names? Like, sure, they're the Ironclad, but is his real name Steve? What about Watcher? Is her name Jasmine? Because that's a pretty name. Jasmine would be a good name for the Watcher, I agree. Casey says, well, it's not Steve, so He does have a name, but we know his name isn't Steve. Detectives, get on it. Oddity asks, are you guys thinking of adding more to the game after it fully releases? Maybe additional characters, new events, more enemies, maybe even collab content. Ugh. I'm gonna throw up. If people like the game, we'll add more stuff. I don't know about collabs. I feel like it dilutes the identity of games. Then again, it depends on the genre. Based Casey. Yeah. The collab stuff is just like fan service stuff that like ends up damaging franchises and or games or whatever it's in over time, I think. Just check out Universes Beyond from Magic the Gathering if you want to see how that sort of thing works out, if you really commit to it. Boy, do people hate that right now. Matt asks, is Poison back for the Silent in Slay the Spire 2, or does she now have to rely on a new kit to make her way through the Spire? Casey says we like Poison. Of course Poison's going to be in the game. I mean, they would have to do a serious overhaul to Silent without Poison existing. That'd be crazy. Confirmed we were getting Poison back. Nothing more to say about that. The Singaporean Smoke Machine asks, will there be a feature for Shiv cards where there will be a throwing card animation? Like when you play a Shiv, the card itself flies straight into an enemy before spinning and falling off screen. I think it would be really cool. Anthony says no. Yeah, that'd be a bit weird. The cards have never, like... The cards are a meta thing. You play the card and then the character does the thing that the card says. You don't... The card isn't doing anything, right? So that'd be like breaking the fourth wall, kind of, if the card was flying into enemies and doing damage. I don't know why they even answered this question. Apologies to the Singaporean Smoke Machine, but sounds like a bit of a silly one. And they decided to answer it. Anthony, of course, just getting the flat no, as he always does. But yeah, overall, not the most interesting questions here, to be honest. I want more, like, juice here next time. And with that, we're into all of this other stuff. This is the newest enemy that was being revealed. This is what we're going to be fighting. And then this is a silhouette of the next new enemy. Some art stuff. And then we are into the Connections game, which I will be playing. So stay tuned. I'll be right back with a full screen. Prepare your eyes for a flashbang. It's going to get very white in a second, just like this. All right, here we go. We have Burning Blood. That is the Ironclad starter relic. We have Red Skull, Ironclad specific common relic that gives you 3 strength. Echo Form, Hexaghost. This is the first boss monster I think that's ever been one of these. Apparition, card from giving you 3 apparitions, of course, or the event rather. Immolate, Ironclad card. Got Ghostly Armor, Blue Candle, it's a relic. Nemesis is another enemy, so we've got enemies here. Things that give you burns is jumping out to me here for sure. Bouncing Flask, Overclock, it gives you a burn as well. I'm already seeing that. Carnage, Lantern, Snecko Skull, Bottled Flame, and Offering. So things that give you burns: Hexaghost, Nemesis, Overclock, Immolate, Submit. Boom. That's the hardest one, by the way. That's insane. Purple means it's the hardest. Burning Blood is Ironclad specific. Red Skull is Ironclad specific. Offering is Ironclad specific. Carnage is Ironclad specific. Is this like possibly a thing? Things that are Ironclad only? That'd be kind of crazy. I'm gonna try it though. Okay, no. So now it's time to get serious. There's sort of this like spectral theme for this, like Echo Form, Apparition, Ghostly Armor, and like there's like ghosty stuff, right? Like Apparition, Offering even is kind of like that, and then like Blue Candle is kind of like that, you know? Ooh. Let me think about other things though. So there's Burning Blood, there's Bottled Flame, there's Lantern, there's like things with flames in it. These things. Blue Candle has a flame. Boom. Relics that feature flames. All right, and then we've got... So the Echo Form Apparition is still jumping out to me as like a thing. What about like skulls? Red Skull, Snecko Skull sound to go together. Offering has a skull in it. Does Apparition have a skull on it? Does Bouncing Flask have a skull on it? One away, it says. You couldn't see it because I have it too zoomed in. Oh, man. Well, what will the other ones be? Red Skull, Snecko Skull Offering, and then what is the other link here? Is it Carnage? One away. Oh no. I only have one mistake remaining. I'm being too aggressive here. I don't want to Google anything, but I don't know if like Bouncing Flask or whatever has a skull on it. Like these are all obvious skull stuff, but then I don't know about the fourth one. Does Ghostly Armor have a skull on it? I might have to Google like arts. Oh man, I don't know. I also don't remember what I already tried now. It was Apparition that I did it with, right? And Carnage. So Ghostly Armor, boom. Oh, I'm dead. Cards that are ethereal. Oh, it's just ethereal. Oh my god. Yeah, that was so obvious. Bouncing Flask does have a skull on it. Apparently. I did not know that. Of course it has a skull on it. It's like the toxic crossbones thing. Oh no. Well, I have failed today, but watch the last one if you want to see me do good, and the one before that. Anyway, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.